What is up, everyone? Pittsburgh White Shorts coming at it with yet another Deck Tech. I am joined today by Brian and Andy.
Howdy, the whole crew's back together.
What's up, guys?
And we are going to be talking about event Exodia Kaguya today. Brian has played this deck a lot recently at locals when he wasn't practicing for regionals. I swear he was always playing a Kaguya pile every week.
Yeah, for a while there, I got my playset in and just fiddling with whatever my heart desired.
And this is what he landed on.
Yeah, just played a bunch of this just because it was something different. It was funny and it didn't feel atrocious to pilot.
Yeah, you got a lot of cool moving parts. I think it's a lot smoother, especially with some of the PR stuff, than I think people gave it credit for, especially even us in the set review. Because back when we reviewed it, those PRs didn't exist. They came out and then were announced that they were also coming to English after we set review. So I don't believe those cards existed back then.
Yeah, and the promos themselves seem to be relatively difficult to track down too. They've been on and off since player, very difficult to find. They were short printed or something.
The Mikos?
No.
The Mikos. All the event PRs, the silver pack PRs for Kaguya are like unique cards that they specifically buff up this deck. Notably, you can see here in the overall card list. If you're just here for the list, we always have it in the description. Definitely leave us a like on the way out. Or if you're just here for the list, always helps us out. But Encore Deck's link in the description as per usual. We are only playing one of them, but they all are pretty strong. Notably, it's the little heart Miyuki and Ishigami there all the way on the right. But that one single card is really good in this deck, and you only really need one because you keep grabbing it back. But we'll talk about that as we get through the cards. So let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, I'd consider a second copy of the Heart Boys if I had one, but
they're hard to get.
I only have one. I'm only on one, and I think the deck functions fine with one.
It's probably most likely a supply issue too. Like those promos could just be coming in like the next package for a lot of places too. They could have just got held up or something. So hopefully more copies will be out there soon.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into card by card here. Starting out with the Vice President's Pride Kaguya. This is a 3,500 event Rize on play. If you have 5 or more cards in hand, it is a 3,500 beater. Holds its lane. It's your typical oversized power line these days. And then on play, you can look it up to 3. Choose an event from among them. Add it to your hand. And discard a card. Put the rest to waiting room. If you don't reveal an event, you don't have to ditch anything. It's not like Armin Rize or anything like that. So it's more like an event Kome versus an event Rize. But Prova's definitely good.
Yeah, in a deck where you are playing 11 events and are on 8 pants, the ability to just cantrip into something else and then ditch out an extra climax you have in your hand is super valuable in this deck.
Also letting us ditch cards we don't like. This Miko, the 3K, or other pseudo oversized, can't side attack, but on play you can discard a card and salvage this 1/1 Miko event, which is a just salvage a character, send this to memory, give 2 characters 1,500 power for the turn. So helps you win lane. So you got a pretty like thick lineup of like go first cards here with just these 8. Moving on here, next set of zeros. We got 2 more going first cards actually. You're running 2 of the Ricky here. So if you're playing a legal Kaguya deck that's a fake condition, this card is both an on play, pay 1, choose a character in your waiting room, put it at the bottom of your clock, draw a card Ricky, and then it's also a free runner, which also retains its 2K power line. Pretty overloaded card, but pretty nice.
Yeah, and the ability to set your colors with the draw Ricky effect is relatively important in this deck, since 3 of the 4 events you need to get in memory for your finisher are all different colors.
Yeah, you're notably red and blue at 1.
Yeah, and also you need yellow by level 2 or 3. There is a 2/1 that makes your events colorless that mitigates that a little bit, but this is another way around that.
Then 3 of the Chica Brainstorm. This is a almost carbon copy of the Estia Brainstorm from Danmachi, except it's salvage instead of search. So when you play an event, the first time per turn you play an event, if you play an event and choose to not do this effect, you whiff it and you cannot do it again later. Just a way the auto event timings work. But on play an event, you can draw ditch and self-tap salvage Brainstorm. Pretty good for this kind of deck to be able to recur cards, I think. So salvage is definitely preferable.
And in a deck where you're playing so many events, the first effect is firing off literally every one of your turns and most of your opponent's turns well. So gives you a little bit of sculpting to draw into any other event pieces that you need to get into your finisher.
Yeah, we can talk about that when we get to the level 1 combo. I think this card's like really important for how Kaguya can like show that it's unique and how it loops combo, because I think people go like, oh well, how do I loop? It's just like pants. Like you're not gonna trigger that often, but triggering this card off cross turn is a big way you're gonna like get into additional climaxes to continue to slam down, get your cards back, and loop your level 1 combo.
Also to like if you're playing 8 pants, it can help you filter them out of your hand. Like you trigger a pants in your attack step, then you have a way to ditch it before your refresh on your opponent's turn with the event.
Yeah.
Lets you maintain that plus while also keeping your compression, which is pretty cool.
You can finesse that effect. That is the name of the game here, using your draw drops well. But lastly here for level zeros, looks like we got 2 of this Ishigami Bonder. So on play, you can discard any card, salvage the 2/1 event that gives an event character hexproof from Itachi. And then in the middle position of your center stage, he has 4K. This card is actually really good. I've played this card since this came out in JP. Ishigami is definitely super thick.
Yeah, he's like another starter.
Yeah, you got like 12 go first cards in this deck,
Yeah,
which is pretty sick.
Your level 0 is pretty solid. The ability to, in a world where Hololive exists, hit over Aqua and the plus in the center lane is also pretty helpful too.
And then 1 of this PR again, the Heart Boys PR. On play, pay 1, ditch an event, salvage an event. So just like agnostic event swap. And then when you play an event, send this card to stock. So when you play multiple events this turn, notably when you play the Miko event that salvages, you can like send 2 events to turn to stock for 1 stock instead of 2, because like you put this down, you play a event, like let's say you play the photos, which is sword, play maybe even a costless event, send the stock, and then you can salvage this card back with the Miko event. And because the Miko event also gives you power, so if you're just trying to beat overlane, you're not trying to do anything, you have this card in hand, you just recycle it to costlessly pump your board 1500 power, as well as give yourself some memory. There's some really sick plays with this card.
Yeah, the second effect has been incredibly useful because the deck runs so tight on stock due to the fact that almost all of the events that you're playing and need to get into your memory cost 1 stock. So this card effectively making one of those event free has been extremely impactful in sometimes shaping your stock going into your final turn, allowing you to get a second or third combo off sec finisher.
You can also do the
Seems like-
classic stuff with this, where like you swing in a free lane if you win a lane cross turn, and then like play a torch and send it
Yeah, you can do that
on your
too.
opponent's turn. Sorry,
That's
Andy.
what
Go ahead.
I was literally gonna say that. Yeah, you have like that little sneaky little play where you can like
Yeah.
use them kind of like a JC or something. Get rid of the reverse target if you need to, but just anyway, like he's gonna die on the swing back anyway. You can just convert it into a stock.
Yeah, he's like a card that swings twice, generates 2 stock if you use it that way. All right, so moving into the level 1, this is going to be like the only character we play at level 1. It's going to be this Kaguya. So this ability activates 1 time per turn when you play an event, card gets 2k. And then whenever you play the pants, so on play of the pants during your climax phase, you either salvage the torch event or search it from your deck for each copy that you have on the board. So it's like Goblin Slayer, but in climax phase. So that's like more like who's her name from Gasaya? Sachi. It's more like a Sachi style effect. The fact that this card can jump to 65, or when you play an event on turn, swing in 75, means pretty good power line, pretty good trigger on pants. The torch is really nice because it's not only a normal torch, with the caveat that you got to have a Miyuki or a Kaguya on board to even play it. You can send a single copy of it to memory. If you don't have a blue card in your memory, you can send the first copy of that to your memory. You usually hold out on that effect because you don't want to like lose these cards. You never really send the first one. You should wait as long as possible to send that torch effect. I think that's a pretty big trap people fall into with the card, is they always send the first one. In my experience playing the deck, you should like hold off as long as possible to send it, because when you lose those to clock or stock and you're like looping level 1 combo a game, you can very, very easily get yourself in situations where you can't recur your max number of pluses because you're like randomly out the event. So definitely don't send the first one, save it for later. 1 random card compression doesn't actually matter, but definitely send it at the end when you're like super min-maxing on your last deck.
I mean, with this deck, you'll have to send one at one point to get your finisher off.
True, very true. But yeah, the main way you're going to loop this, like we said, when you're looking at the Chica Brainstorm here, as I jump back to it briefly, that draw drop, because this event that you bond to is a torch, don't be afraid to fire off those draw drops on your opponent's turn. In fact, if you are going to torch on your opponent's turn at all, it should be because you want to draw drop or you are completely out of climaxes. Dean from Burn 1 has a really good video about why you don't really want to torch on your opponent's turn, like ever, unless you're completely out. But because of the draw drop, because Kaguya generates like a lot of advantage from being able to slam the 1-0 Kaguya over and over and over again every single turn, constantly getting these torches back. The torches, help you maintain your deck state. Draw dropping on your opponent's turn specifically to find climaxes to go off the next turn can be a really powerful strategy, even though that comes at the cost of canceling an attack because you drew a climax. Your strategy is more important a lot of the time. You're gonna take damage eventually, so if you're pretty compressed, drawing 1 climax will not hurt you too bad. The rest of our level 1, mostly event. events. But what were you gonna say, Andy?
I was gonna say, yeah, like Torch is definitely a card profile that takes a bit of finesse to play with, especially when you mix the draw and discard effect in with it.
But yeah, rounding out our level 1, the rest of it is all events. On the day of the full moon, the torch, like you said, it's a torch that needs Kaguya or Miyuki on board to play. And then if you don't have a blue card in memory, you can send it to memory. The photo shoot, which is a sword. So on play, you put the card into memory, reveal top card of deck. If it's an event or a character, put it into your hand. So as long as it's not a climax, so you draw that card. And then when it's in your memory during your turn, it gives 500 power to your board. With this deck's power lines, it barely matters. It rarely ever comes up. And the event is definitely the worst of the bunch, which is why it is always at the lowest count in every list I've ever seen. Brian's here. And then the Miko event, which is definitely like the second best event after the torch, I think, in the deck in terms of consistency. This card's super good. I was playing this raw in like non-event Kaguya, just like one bonder and like 2 of these Miko events, because 1500 power to 2 lanes is really strong, and then just selective salvage, and then this card goes to memory is also really good.
Yeah, it's a good card, but I don't think you need to be on 4, especially in this deck, due to the fact that I'm on 4 bonders and also have the event swap.
Yeah, I feel like
makes it pretty easy to get into the 2 copies of the sword too.
I feel like when I watch you play this, you like always have like all of your Miko events in memory, unless your game is like you're like randomly eating garbage, like, you know, any Weiss deck.
Sure.
You usually have like all your Miko events in memory because that card's so good.
Yeah, I mean on 4 bonders, you know, there's no reason to just not ditch a garbage card, fish into something that you want, compression neutral event, win board for a turn. It's pretty good.
Yep, helps, yeah. All right, moving into level 2. Got our early play on this slide as well. We have this one Miyuki. This gives our events colorless, which is pretty nice because yellow isn't a color we like really want to play in this deck, but you know, we have to have this yellow event in our memory for our finisher to work. Also a 2k to front assist. Then he has this really awesome secondary effect, like tertiary effect here, where you can discard a climax and tap this card, choose a character in your waiting room, add it to your hand. So once he's down on the board, where you know he lets you play your event, you then can earn all these extra pants you trigger, you know, into extra finishers for the next turn, which is pretty cool. It's usually how I see Brian use it.
Yeah, I mean, it just sits there, gives the early play a little bit of extra power if you need it. You know, it pumps up your finisher, help maintain board a little bit in case you don't kill your opponent somehow, and it's got that cool third effect. Yeah.
So the only 4 yellow in this card, you effectively have 5 ways to play the yellow event. It hasn't been bad with that lean of a count, because I've gotten pretty lean with it too, but I never went this lean.
Has not been an issue for me. Yeah.
Okay.
With the 2 copies of the Hayasaka Ricky Runner, the ability to
just set your yellow,
clock into yellow if I need it has been good enough. Yeah.
Because after you play the event, you just play it on the Kaguya, heal it off. Doesn't matter at that point once the event is in memory. Speaking of the event, 2 Ishigami events, like we said before, gives a character hexproof and Musashi burn for the turn, goes to memory, and is required for the finishing combo. Andy, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just looking at your yellow count, like you mentioned the Ricky Runner, you could, like, if you really wanted to play it safe, you could probably switch a number of those out for like the yellow Chica Ricky from set 1.
I could, yeah.
Or maybe there's probably a lot of concessions you could make at level 0 if you wanted to fit in like another yellow card if you.
Yeah, I think I played around with that idea. The problem is the Chica Ricky gives 2k power on play if top check and reveal a character. I'm on so many events that is a little bit awkward to play.
It's like 8 climaxes, 11 events, like all nearly half your deck at that point. It's like 19 cards. That's a lot of whiffs at that point.
I guess I was talking more specifically for the Ricky effect.
Oh,
just
sure.
Like another way to fit an extra yellow, but or you could just play like a second copy of the Miyuki assist too, just to like.
That's what I used to do.
Your events online for free too.
I was playing like what was it, like 3 Shigami, 2 Bonder, 2 Miyuki, and that was like my only yellow. Brian's on like one less yellow and 1 less Miyuki than that. So
yeah, most of the time you see like one of the level 0 Shigami Bonders flow into clock. You just level it early. You set your yellow early, not have to worry about it. If it becomes an issue later, that's what the Ricky Runner's there for. I have not had an issue to point. So
yeah, I mean Miyuki's definitely really strong. So.
Yeah, it works all right for me.
Then we got 3 of the early play healer, so it's a 4 or more character on board heal early play, and then it heals normally. Then as long as you have 2 or more other characters, gets 1500 power, and your opponent can't play events. This card's the lane. The not playing events in the lane really isn't relevant right now in the meta, but the fact that it is just a 10k full board heal has always been pretty good. Do not have to worry about much.
Yeah, before this I was playing the early play Kaguya from set 2 that does the like the Mari non-play effect. That character check 3, add 1, stock 1, which was okay. It was to dig into like other events and pieces that I was missing, but I really wasn't having an issue getting into the events that I needed by this point, and getting an extra heal in at level 2 if I have the stock overhead somehow was a little bit more impactful.
Yeah, I feel like you also wouldn't get a lot of mileage out of the hand-on core from the other Kaguya effects, since you have a ton of events in hand.
It's all events, yeah.
So you can't really use it to fuel the hand-on core. So the finisher, the big marching band Kaguya Exodia. So that's 1500 power for each other character in your backstage. So 11k base, 12k with climax or anything else, and then normal heal on play. Then on attack, if you have all 4 of the events in your memory for free, you burn your opponent for 3. So really efficient. After the fact, you do have to play all these events and dedicate a lot of slots to do it. But once you have it, the fact that you just slam this down, you have all these events in memory, you have 3 torches still to maintain your deck. You can just kind of play these down, heal, combo, burn. You probably trigger a pants because you're compressed, grab the climax back, and then try to do it again the next turn. That's sort of what I've seen Brian do. I mean, like, is that usually your game plan going into level 3?
Yeah, they usually sit relatively large, so if you don't kill your opponent, sometimes one of them will live. But you also usually on your finish turn, you're playing the Musashi event on one of your finishers. So if you play two or three of these, they output a decent amount of damage. So sometimes your opponent just dies, but if they don't, usually your deck state is good enough to hold out for another round. Maybe one of them will live, if assuming your opponent's not playing some incredibly disgusting finisher like Escanor, where they just ping you to death.
Yeah, against traditional finishers, you have a lot of survivability.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it seemed you mentioned earlier the deck can be pretty tight on stock, but the fact that the finisher is like completely free, that's pretty nice.
Basically, pay all your costs up front. You get cool effects from the events when you play them too.
But yeah, here's the whole list again. So.
Yeah, I had another question for you, Brian, too.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, just because this is like you run all the events deck, right?
Yeah.
There's a ton of events in Kaguya in set 1 and set 2. Were there any events that you wanted to run in this deck that you couldn't find room for, or were there maybe others that you had tried and found didn't work as well, or like what are your thoughts on that?
As far as other events, I think my personal favorite event in Kaguya is the green 2/1 anti-burn event from set 1, but I mean this deck is not in green and cannot afford to play that. Other than that,
there's the money counter, the new money counter that requires you to ditch another copy in a minute,
which is also green.
Oh hey, you got Miyuki. You got 2/1 Miyuki. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, have to play around with the counts a little bit in order to make playing other green events work.
I just noticed.
You could maybe like, if you won more green, you could cut the Ayasaka early plays and play the president.
We did forget a card because I'm bad. On this last slide here, I'll just make it really big. It's the pretty self-explanatory card.
That gets your stock. Yep.
Yep. It is on climax placement, gets 1500 power. So swings in at 7k with a climax, and as long as you have a climax in play, it's a blind stock. It's on color for your level 1.
Yeah.
It was such a given that I just completely forgot about it.
Card's good, yeah.
It's like in every single Kaguya deck as your auxiliary level 1.
Especially in this deck, we were just talking about stock overhead. All of your events cost 1. This helps make that a little bit easier too.
Yeah, like literally in every blue Kaguya deck. I just like, oh yeah, and I just didn't even put on the slide.
Deck save pants, you slam climax all day, you get stock.
Help you with your event threshold. So of the other PRs, Brian, I know you don't have them, but like I know there's the red one that I believe exchanges specific events for free.
Yeah.
Right? And those. Is there any of them that you would include?
I do like the red one. 0. It is on play and choose. Which one is Word Parting? Am I not playing that? No, it doesn't.
Words of Parting. Isn't that the red one? The 3/1?
No, that's Battle of the Brains or something. Romantic Battle of Brains.
Yeah.
No. Words of Parting's the Musashi event.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Words of Parting.
Okay. So it's choose the yellow 2/1 event or either of the red 1/1 events from your memory, send it to waiting room, and swap one of the other swap a red 1/1 event or the yellow 2/1 event from waiting room to memory. So it's a free swap an event memory.
It's like an event fix. It's like a memory fixer
that helps set your condition, which I do like. It probably would be helpful, but my deck as it's built now, I don't think it's also a red level 1 that makes it a little bit more awkward to play 2 colors at level 1. Second effect, sack self ditch, salvage a shoot trait character. Okay, I'm into it. I'd play a copy or 2 if I had one. I don't know where I'd fit it though.
It have to be Blind Stalker down one. I think that's your only.
Minus one Blind Stalker.
I don't know what else you could cut.
I think that's the only way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Blind Stalker is your like tertiary level 1 card too. That's like your backup if you don't hit all 3 level 1 Kaguyas probably.
Yeah, it's just another attacker.
Yeah. The only other thing that looks cuttable to me is like maybe one of the early play healer, but the problem is with so many events, the deck is on so few soul triggers that you need to push a little bit of damage somehow.
The only way you're even keeping up your soul trigger count at all is that you happen to be 8 pants.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't even have like, you know, like counters and stuff at 2 here. So you're on like 7, you're only on 15, 16 soul triggers, which is, I can't believe I'm saying that amount of soul triggers is low, but that's where the game's going.
Welcome to Modern White Shorts, yeah.
Maybe the one silver lining though is a lot of your, you know, non-soul triggers are being stuffed into your memory. So, you know, if you have a bunch of your events stuck in your memory, the ones without soul, then, you know, that's...
Yeah, your soul count on next deck goes up, yeah. That's a good way to look at it. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're just like removing the events. So the ratio of soul triggers does go up as you refresh. All right. Usual slide here at the end. Card games competitive. We don't own or operate them, but we are in them. Global and NA, buy, sell, trade. Definitely check those out. Weiss Fight, you want to play in your browser. That is a non-automated simulator similar to Dueling Book. If you're familiar with the Yu-Gi-Oh, you can check that out. There's nothing you have to do. You just point your browser to weissfight.net, grab deck lists from Encore Decks, maybe even this one, slam it in there, and you're playing Weiss in your browser with people all over the world. If you want to try something a little bit more automated, we have a video on an automated simulator that is currently in development. A lot of good Unity effort is going into that. Definitely give that a look. You definitely got to set that one up, install it, download it, install it, get it ready, things like that. You got to set it up with Steam. But there's a video of Brian and I doing that, like from literally Brian had never done it before into us being in a game, and it took like 2 minutes. So, and it didn't take him long to download it either. So not too bad to get set up. Definitely give that a look. I believe Kaguya is on there. I can give that a try. Upcoming content. There's more set reviews that we have to do. Well, what do we have to do now? We got to do
review.
Lime 3.
Hololive 3. Sequelitis.
Yeah, tons of sequel. That's all the non-sequel sets that are coming out are like new IPs that don't have any cards released other than like those like 3 or 4 Chainsaw Man cards that we saw. So,
but keep your eyes peeled. We'll have some very special guests on these videos.
Yeah,
definitely don't want to miss these ones.
Yeah, we got a true legend coming in review. You know him well.
He's finally back.
But with that, I do believe we are done here. Pittsburgh White Sports signing off. We will see you all on the next one.